my God, what happened to Dubai? Listen, it's not even that time for that intro, guys. It's gotten to the point where even man like Bouncer has added me back because I sent him a message saying, bro, listen, despite our differences, I hope you're doing good out there. But we've had our lads, Mr. 57 Jewelers, who's just opened up his shop in Dubai, showing live footage. We've got Mans Malone, we've got Ache, we've got Tunde, and we've got Spiller, and we've got a few other UK rappers who are currently trapped in Dubai. Yes. Dubai airport, flights out of Qatar, the UAE, Israel, all these places have been shut down. Flights are not happening there. The airspace is shut down. And we're going to get into why. I'm going to break down exactly what is going on here because I feel like the cat's out of the bag now. The cat's out of the hat, whatever the saying is. Like now, I feel like I can be more unfiltered and just tell you guys everything because I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. We're going to take it back to World War I, how this all started. I'm going to go over everything in this video, guys. So give it a like, my people. Let's get that out of the way. It's going to be a long one, but I need you guys to be patient and follow because this information will be important for you to have. And I know a lot of you guys watching probably won't know what I'm going to tell you here. So first of all here, the flight's being disrupted. Now, I was actually meant to go I was going to go to Israel on the 2nd of March. I was going to go there. Yeah. I said in my last video, if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'm going to go to Israel. I already have my flight booked. Why did I have my flight booked? People are going to hate me. Listen, I need to see things for myself. There's so much disinformation online, so much this, that. Bruv, I would fly there. Flight was 150 quid. Don't know if I'm going to get my money back. I was going to fly there, spend 2 days there, spend a minimal amount of money because obviously I don't agree with what's going on out there, and see it with my own eyes. Obviously, they're not going to let me see it with my own eyes, but I need to see as much as I can with my own eyes. You know what I mean? Maybe I wouldn't have made it back. Maybe that was God's way of telling me not to do it because obviously the war going on in Ukraine. I was in Poland a few years ago, just as the war started. I was going to drive to Ukraine. My mum was crying to me on the phone saying, don't go Ukraine. If she didn't do that, I would have gone to Ukraine. Why do I want to do this? Because why do I have the urge to go and see things with my own eyes? Because I need to see things with my own eyes. That's just me. That's just how I am. And on top of that, I want to tell my kids, yo, when you're learning about Ukraine, you know, I was in Ukraine when that happened. Oh, you're learning about what was happening in Palestine. Oh, yeah, you know, I was there. You know, I went there actually. But I woke up this morning and I opened Twitter and the first thing I see is is that Israel and America have striked Iran. And I thought, oh my God, I've just woken up to World War III. Now, we'll take a look at Bouncer stories first. Here, we'll see there. Listen. We'll keep going here. Okay, UAE being bombed. Oh my God. Now, when this first started happening, guys, I was doing a little bit of trolling because I'm thinking, okay, you know, they're going to bomb a few, like obviously Iran's retaliated very quickly. How Iran retaliated is they retaliated by hitting the UAE, mainly Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait. They hit these places because there are US military bases there. That is what Iran was obviously aiming to target. They just wanted to hit US military bases. Iran previously warned that if the US and Israel decided to strike them, then they would hit US military bases. Hence why the US, a few months prior, I think evacuated a lot of these bases or had limited personnel on these bases. Here is footage of a bomb. Not a bomb, because obviously the UAE, all these places, they have their defense systems. And their defense system doesn't completely get rid of the missile. Some are obviously going to get through. And for the ones that do get intercepted, debris is going to fall down. You know, as you guys can see here, this is near the Burj Khalifa, which was once the tallest building on the planet. It's insane, you know, and it's not a joke. You know, if it was one thing nearly, I'd still be sitting here saying, Dubai, you know, safe place, because you guys know how much I can't stand that country, Dubai. You know, I can't stand it, but people I know are at risk, you know what I mean? Like, it's not cool. Like, look, you see here, it looks dystopian. It's crazy that this can happen in Dubai over one night, and it lets you know the Middle East is not a safe place. It's not safe, and it's not safe, it's not stable because of one country. Because of one place that begins with I, ends with L, and rhymes with rel. Here we can see Ake's story. Iran is attacking Dubai and Abu Dhabi. They are attacking military bases there. That is what Iran is doing in retaliation, by the way. Retaliatory strikes for the US and Israel striking Iran, striking Tehran.
Got big bombing and you're...
And he's about his cat. Let's go to the more serious snaps where he ends up in a bunker. On the second. And here they bombed the Palm. They bombed the I think that's the Fountain. The Fountain, I think it's called. The Fairmont Hotel in Dubai. This is on the Palm, by the way. The Palm, you know, those near those artificial islands in Dubai. Yeah. This here. Do we think Iran decided to target a hotel? Most likely not. Most likely it's the missile defense system. You know, they tried to intercept it. They intercepted it, and then it landed here, unfortunately. Here is obviously more footage. City Walk. Yeah, it's late there. It's like maybe 10 p.m. in Dubai right
listen. Now. You know, all fun and jokes aside, Bouncer was hiding in Dubai. Right now, man's hiding in Sharjah, Aki, yeah? We're hiding in Sharjah with the brothers, yeah? In the brothers' store. You get me? But, bro, my people, them, it's no joke, you know? Stay safe, man. It's no joke. Like, things are actually just getting bombed. You know, like, I thought that... yeah, Dubai is fine, man. There's missiles. They're shooting down the missiles. No, bro. Like, no joke. It's not a joke, man.
Yeah, look at this. More photos there, but you know, it's during Ramadan as well, which is not nice. You know, it's during Ramadan. But this is the reality of war, you know? This is the reality of war. We've seen these escalations happen. This is not one of the reasons why I've despised Dubai, but the myth that it's this safe place. It's like, okay, you're going to see why it's not a safe place. The location that it's in, the business that they're doing, the people that they work with. Again, we're going to get into that in a second after we look at more people's Snapchats. Now here we can see Spiller, CEO of Spill the Juice. He's obviously out in Dubai. He's obviously shooting his show out there. He had a show today planned with Ard Ads, and also on Instagram Live. We'll take a look at that clip that I posted of Ard Ads. But here, look, we grinding through the bombs. That's what he said.
On my life, everyone's crowding there. Man can hear the fucking bombs. Like, everyone's crowding there. They're videoing it. Look. Bro, this is mad. Bro. Man is here recording. A man can hear it. Where are we going?
In basement car park, I'm telling you. Come. How do we get there? What, you can stairs or?
Bro,
crazy situation. It's like I hear Spiller though, man. It's like people will be laughing. I'm thinking, bro, like I even messaged Spiller saying, bro, time for laughing's done now. Like if I'm there, I'm going into survival mode. Like, okay, I need to survive now. Like I don't need to be around brothers who are there laughing. You know what I mean? Like I get nervous laughter, but it's like, bro, if there are bombs dropping around, man, stop fucking laughing, bro. Like be a man, be useful. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Maybe you wouldn't want to be in a war zone with me, because if you're laughing, bro, I'll leave you. I'll say, you go laugh by yourself, bro, instead of dragging the team back.
It's not even funny no more. Like, this is real shit. This might be my last fucking... Oh,
You grabbed it. The last drink.
Oh my days. Oh, that is mad.
Because it's like, if we're looking at potentially a war, having a bomb dropped on us and you're laughing, it's like, bro, you're not serious. Like,
thing, we're in the basement. Cuz. Bro.
the worst part is you're a sitting duck. You're in the desert, bro.
Bro.
You're in the desert.
Mad. You're mad. You're mad. I don't even care. This could be my last video, so I'm gonna snap. You know, I give a fuck.
I hear it.
No, I'm going back underneath that. Are you mad? Oh my God, that. No. Fuck that. Oh my. On shop when we just went out there and we just hearing the mad thing.
Broski, listen to me. You see, when it's your time, it's your time. There's nowhere safe. We could be here, there, in the car, on the roof. It don't matter. Right now, Noon is still delivering. When the man them stop delivering on the peds, then I know it's a mad thing.
You're not seeing and you're not hearing. We're in the
office. I can hear it, bro. I'm here with you, bro. I can hear it.
You know?
Yes, like you see, I believe in that. It's our time. God decides our time, bro. But prevention's better than cure. It's like, if like I'm not just gonna go out without fighting. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to. It's gonna be a struggle.
Man, still filming. If it's my time, it's my time. You get me? Yo, were you ready to get this done? Are we still gonna film? Are we still gonna film, cuz?
Look,
I say nothing.
We're filming.
come on, what? Look, two good people, man. I know our dad is a great person. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've been wearing his hat since he was here like a year ago. Like, I've been wearing his hat every single freaking video, you know, for free. No, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just for free. Dubai, though, man. Dubai, like, you two are better than this place, bro.
If it's my time, it's my time. Come there, man. If it's my time, it's my time. Walk on, my G.
That's it.
Yeah. If it's my time, it's my time. They still pulled up, so it is what it is.
I swear, all I ever wanted.
Then my God is the greatest. I've chased every dream placed in my heart, and I'll keep chasing them. And yeah, bare man are in Dubai for Ramadan. You know, I hear it. Oh wow, more sirens, more things going on, and yeah, guys are eating. Then we got Mons Malone here saying they're bombing up the place, and Mons Malone has just come out of jail. He was deported to Jamaica. And he's now living in Dubai, you know, signed the deal, you know, releasing music, just dropped his project that's charted in the top 40. Yeah, he's come out of jail. He's been out of jail for a few months, living it up. And now Mons Malone's probably thinking, shit, like, what's going on? Then the last rapper we're going to show, or second last rapper, we're going to show GU on his Snapchat. Shout out to GU. Get out the UAE Act. Iran are about to drop nuclear bombs on Dubai for working with Israel. And he said, when Allah is with you, you'll never walk alone. I hear that when God is with you 100%, bro, but prevention's better than cure. And guys, I swear, I've told you guys to watch this whole video because bear with me. We're going to start from World War I and break down this entire situation, you know, because I've been itching to just say what I want to say. You know what I mean? And we're going to do it. We're going to do it now. Here we go. Strikes. I know you can see me. I'm doing good work. I think he's volunteering. Yeah. And then I'm driving out through Saudi and Turkey. I should have never come here. You're seeing the madness there. You know, you're seeing the madness. Yeah, get out of there, bro. Go to Saudi. Go to Turkey. Turkey's pretty neutral. Turkey's all right. But it's Ramadan, you know, guys are still doing their iftar and that. So, yeah. And this is another scary video of a bomb dropping in Qatar. It looks like, you know, Qatar did some interception there. But this is Iran bombing Qatar, attempting to bomb U.S. military bases in Qatar. I think there was a report months ago when Israel actually bombed Qatar because there was some Hamas leaders in Qatar and they bombed Qatar, you know, and it just was brushed under the rug. But it's crazy. Guys, look at this guy. Look at this. Bang. And they're saying Netanyahu's fled to Greece, apparently. Boom. Not that bad an explode, but yeah, it's just because of the distance. But look at these. These are Indians, bro. Pakistanis, like Bangladeshis. That have just gone to Qatar to work to try and provide for their families. Nothing against Qatar. I don't have as much hatred for Qatar as I don't have any hatred for Qatar as I do for the UAE. Because the UAE is obviously funding a genocide in Sudan. But all these Gulf countries, they're built up off of slave labor. You know, you sold a dream that you're going to come to Qatar, you're going to work, you're going to be able to send money back, it's going to be paradise. Really and truly, these countries are designed so you leave with no money. So you always leave. You don't take money out, you know. What you're paid, you have to spend there to survive. And that's how they keep you. Pretty much a slave, you know. Money is used to keep you as a slave, pretty much. And here is a video of Dubai airport. I was there not long ago. A few weeks ago, I was there. I stopped off there for a few hours. But yeah, look at all these people there. You lot ain't going anywhere. Like, you lot are absolutely trapped in the UAE. And there's a lot of people taking the piss, people from the UK. Because you know how people in Dubai love to say, you're in the UK, da-da-da. Like, you know, I hope everyone there's good, but I just have to say it. Like, you all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you? You know, the weather's great in the UK right now. We've got sun, we've got clear skies, and we ain't got no bombs dropping on us. And here we'll take a look at this live stream. I caught Ardads on the live stream. I posted a clip of it on my Twitter. It's got 300,000 views. It's Ardads. This was him getting petrol before he went to meet up with Spiller to do his obviously interview or spill the juice, whatever it is he's done out there. And I see a comment down here. Somebody said that's a wrap for Dubai tourism, and yep, it probably is. Like, it's gonna definitely affect them, because I don't know if you guys remember. I need to check the stats. Somebody fact check this for me, but I remember when there was like a mad was it hurricane or earthquake that happened in Thailand about a year and a bit ago? A lot of people I know who live in Thailand left. Like they actually left Thailand, bro. Like that scared a lot of people out. A lot of people have been scared to go back because of that. And now the videos of, because the UAE government have actually put out a notice for people to stop sharing videos of what's going on out there. It says there should be no information posted about the location, but they wanna discourage people posting videos of what's going on there. Obviously for everyone's safety and for national security, but on the back end, they don't want videos of bombs dropping in the UAE, which is something we've seen from young. All we've ever pictured, all the images we've ever seen in the Middle East is bombs dropping on there, terrorism, That is what we've known as. So now the fact that Dubai is just going to have loads of videos of bombs dropping on there, it's going to put people off tourism. It's like, oh, you guys are supposed to be the safest place ever. Like, that's not particularly safe, is it? You know, that's not safe. It doesn't look safe. But yeah, this is what happened the live with me and our dads. It was lagging a little bit. This is the caption I put.
Who's dropping them, bro? Iran's letting.
Yeah, but I swear, our dads is just one of them guys who's just naturally funny.
Off bare binds, bro.
It lags a little bit.
Iran's letting it off, G. Wavy, just see how many you go over your head, like 5. Well, he's got them on camera. Follow Wavy's Snapchat. What's your Snapchat?
That ain't Max. Shout out Max if you're watching this, bro. Your man was all in the studio.
Yeah, look. That's how it's going off here. Aye, tanks, report. It's for you, my bro. Footage. I'll get you better ones. I'll send it to you on DM, bro.
Let me see if he sent that. Let me see if he sent that to me, actually. Mad. We're going to have to just repost all of it.
Get my petrol and cut, wallahi. I swear down. I don't want to be a sitting duck, fam. Boss, please, quick. Please.
Please, Deli Ali, please. Give me my money, please.
Pow! Huh?
Gotta smile through it.
Coming, bro. Hey, brother. You see it, bro? Did you see it?
Looking at the others, bro, and I swear, you see that kit, bro? Our dad's, yeah, he came with one of them Cubans, bro. He's wearing like multiple of these Cubans, bro. Bruv, this guy's neck, like, bro, it's wife. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so it's going to be a long one, guys. We're going to go back to World War I. The Austria-Hungary versus Serbia war. That's how we're told it started. Now, World War I essentially was a way for England to collapse the Ottoman Empire, because World War I was France, Britain, and Russia versus Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, which was Turkey, and Germany. So that was World War I. It was those three versus those three. Obviously Britain, France, and Russia ended up winning that war. And at the end of that war, the war ended when England took over Palestine. When England decided to give Palestine to Jewish people, to say, hey, this is going to be Israel, this is going to be your Jewish state. That's a very simplified version of this, of course, guys, but there's a lot to get over. There's a lot to summarize, because here is obviously the Ottoman Empire. You know, it kind of was in North Africa. You know, you had there, obviously here. But the problem is, again, we know Britain ruled 3/4 of the world, but the problem is, at this point in time, Britain had control of all these places, but Britain was broke, you know? And there were a bunch of big banking families that ended up funding Britain. And in this war that really just benefited the Zionist movement, that's what it was. Zionism is believing in there being a Jewish state, Israel. That's what Zionism is. Zionism started off as, like, you know, imagine I'm a flat earther. Imagine I'm somebody who believes in a flat earth. You know, that's how it started off. It started off as a movement like that. And the leaders of the movement lied about having backing from a big family, a big banking family. They lied about having backing from them, but they went to the British government and said, hey, we have the backing from these lot. And the British government's kind of going broke. And the British government says, okay, you guys are backed by these lot. And then this big banking family that's still operating today, they got on board with it and said, okay, yeah, we are going to back this movement. And that's how the movement started. And that's what World War I was about. Because at the end of World War I, that was the beginning of, that's when Britain gave Palestine to Israel. And Britain didn't gain much from that war. They didn't really have much to show for it after. Here we can take a read through here. This is some things. The Balfour Declaration was signed in 1917, and I believe World War I ended in 1918. It set out British support for the creation of a homeland for the Jewish people in Palestine. But when Balfour Declaration was signed, the British had already promised Palestine to Arabs as an independent state and promised the French government it would be an internationally administered zone. Even then, most of the land was still under Ottoman control. So why did Britain make these three conflicting promises? How did it try to resolve them, and how did Britain's strategy in the Middle East help to cause a century of conflict? Again, this is all it's easy, it's very simplified, but this was all the doing of Britain. Now, after Germany lost World War One, you know, after you have a war, if you end up losing, it's very, very costly to you. After Germany lost World War One, they're very, very weak, and there are conspiracy theories that Germany, that pretty much from the inside, there was an inside job to make Germany lose the war, to lose World War One, so they could be conquered easily. Hence, well, this is how we get to World War Two, where there's no explanation needed. I'm sure you guys all know what happened during World War Two. And here you can see here, this is on Google. It was after the war, at the end of World War One, Britain had lost all of their gold reserves, and they were forced to turn to the US Treasury, borrowing roughly $4 billion to avoid collapse. National debt rose from £650 million in 1914 to £7.7 billion by 1919. This is in 1919, by the way. Imagine how much money that is now. Debt had ballooned to 127.5% of national income. The debt incurred was so severe that some of it remained outstanding until the early 21st century. So by the time, the year when I was born, Britain was just still paying off this debt from nearly 100 years ago. The war accelerated the decline of Britain's economic dominance and shifted global financial power to New York. Now, obviously, World War II happened. Thing lost. My man, I don't want to get demonetized, but he lost the war, and yeah. Now, time went on, and obviously, Israel, a lot of the Arab countries, they didn't like Israel. They all refused to acknowledge Israel for a while until 1970. They refused to acknowledge Israel, and what Israel ended up doing is ended up using this this thing called AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, a powerful bipartisan lobbying group that influences U.S. government policy to strengthen the U.S.-Israel relationship. That pretty much has got Israel control of America. The American government pretty much prioritizes Israel over America. Even when I went to visit a few years ago, my uncle there, who's American, he said, it's pretty much the United States of Israel right now, And what they were able to do, because the Arab nations are like, bro, we're not talking to Israel, you crazy. Israel used America to improve relations with a few Arab nations in there, basically used America to say, America, hey, listen, sell America, come in, trade your oil, we'll buy your oil. You have to just use the American dollar, of course. You have to sell it with the American dollar, of course, and more money will let more wealth flow into your nation. The only condition is, though, you've got to be on good terms with Israel. And a few of the countries took the bait. The countries that have been bombed, the countries that have allowed military bases there, obviously the United Arab Emirates. They even announced a $10 billion deal with Israel not long ago. I remember I saw this the other day. UAE announces $10 billion fund for investments in Israel. But this is from 2021? Oh, it's from 2021. I didn't think. It says 5 days ago, so I don't know why it changed. Yeah, this was from 5 days ago where they announced it. They'll invest in energy, manufacturing, water space, etc. Because if we take a look at the map here, the only countries that are on good terms with Israel is UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Morocco. And I believe also Jordan are on decent terms, Kuwait, Qatar, all these other nations, they've decided to play ball, but mainly Iraq, if you guys remember in 2011, Syria, Iraq, you guys remember Gaddafi, Libya, all of these countries were invaded by America. America went to war with all of these places on the guise of there being weapons of mass destruction, etc. And they obviously got Obama was obviously the man who led these invasions, started these wars that costed the USA trillions and trillions of dollars. Absolutely no benefit to the American people at all. The benefit was destabilizing these countries, so Israel could remain, could be the main power player in the Middle East. So all the threats all the countries that they perceive as threats could be secured. The majority of the world obviously wants a two-state solution. That's what they want. They say, okay, either you join up with all of these displaced Palestinians and you let them be Israeli citizens, or you just have a two-state solution. But Israel doesn't want a two-state solution, because if Palestine has their own state, they're going to have their own military, they're going to have their own votes, all this stuff like that, and then Israel perceives that as a threat to them again. But do you guys remember the October 7th attacks? They took place in 2023. That's when the October 7th attack took place. And that is where things in the area kind of began to flare up again, because that was when it was like, okay, now Israel, they've been attacked. It's like, okay, that's our chance now to go after everyone in the area. You know, they obviously invaded Gaza. You know, they applied more pressure on Gaza now, you know, applied more pressure in there, started bombing a bunch of civilians in there, bombing a bunch of buildings, basically leveling the place, killing untold amounts of civilians, you know, doing a madness over there. But yeah, Israel's main ops is obviously Yemen, which is an extremely destabilized country, very, very destabilized country. I think the Houthis, is that what they're called? They operate out of Yemen. And then you've got in Lebanon, one of my best friends is from Lebanon. He told me, please don't ever visit Israel because you won't be allowed to go into Lebanon. Yeah, and Hezbollah operate obviously out of Lebanon, and those two groups are funded by Iran. And Iran's obviously using them two groups as kind of a proxy, where it's like, okay, we're not directly attacking you, Israel, but these lot are going to attack you. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, you've got Hezbollah. Not Hezbollah. The Houthis here. They're positioned here. Obviously, there's a lot of military bases in Djibouti as well. I think there's Israeli base, American base, even though I think there's even a British base, Chinese base, Russian bases in Djibouti, because this straight here, this little gap here is extremely valuable. You know, it's extremely valuable. It's a shipping route. You know, how much oil comes out of here. This straight here, a lot of oil comes out of here. And then we've obviously got here, Israel. I think they plan on, is this the Suez Canal? The Suez Canal. Yeah, this is the Suez Canal. And yeah, okay. That's why it's so valuable, because this, if you block here, the Suez Canal is useless if you block here. And the Suez Canal connects you to all of Europe. You know, it's a very, 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 very valuable trade route. So after October 7th, Israel said, okay, cool. You know what we can do now? Let's just like secure all of these threats here. So America, I'll try and find an article on it. It was on the 6th of May, 2025, where Trump was, sorry guys, I'm just doing this off the dome. I really don't want to edit this video. I'm just going off of memory here. Yeah, it was May 2025 where Trump, America, obviously America is in Israel's back pocket. Israel controls America. They do what Israel wants. America started bombing the Houthis because the Houthis were sinking ships, and America they dropped over 1,000 bombs in Yemen, and they made the Houthis surrender, according to Trump. And then here, Hezbollah. I told you guys about Hezbollah. After the Hamas-led October 7th attacks on Israel, followed by war, Hezbollah engaged in ongoing conflict that impacted both sides of the Israel-Lebanese border, which is said was in solidarity with Palestinians. On the 27th of September 2024, nearly a year after October 7th, Nasrallah was killed when the Israeli Air Force attacked Hezbollah's headquarters. So Israel was going mad. They're like, yo, okay, we got America to deal with these Houthis. Now we're gonna go and get the leader of Hezbollah. All right. And then do you guys remember in December 2024, the fall of the Assad regime? Now I didn't know much about what was going on in Syria, with the Assad regime. But one thing since the Assad regime, apparently Christians were being killed. They sell these things. Listen, I need to see these things for myself. All these things you hear online, especially with AI, you've got to take them with a pinch of salt, because all the social media platforms are owned by people who want you to think a certain way, don't want you to be as aware and open, want to keep you brain fucked, want to keep you brain fogged. But apparently it was Israel and America that supported the downfall of the Assad regime. They supported the downside of the Assad regime. Apparently Assad was backed by Russia. He was backed by Russia, but because obviously Russia had the Ukraine war going on, Russia was unable to get supplies. Russia was unable to maintain this regime pretty much. And America and Israel, they toppled the regime, and now they've got a new leader in there who is more willing to play ball with America and Israel. You know, this further strengthens Israel's presence in this region. They just want all the ops in their eyes. They want them all gone. So here, remember, Iraq, before this Iraq war, before Obama invaded Iraq, bro, Iraq was a very prosperous nation. It was doing things, but now God knows what's going on there, bro. Like, God knows what's going on there. Syria now is tamed. So now Israel's only pagan now, okay, the only pagan that can mash work on them is Iran. That's it. They just need Iran gone. It's like, okay, come on. All the others, you got all playing ball. We signed an agreement with Egypt in 1970. Now they just got beef with Iran. Even my man in Syria, the Assad guy, apparently he's in exile in Russia. Apparently Russia have taken care of him, so he's in Russia right now, hiding out. Now, you know the lies that have been spread. You know, apparently Iraq was meant to have weapons of mass destruction, like all these lies. Pretty much, it's just, now it's plainly obvious that things are just done to benefit Israel. Like the USA, they operate in Israel's interest nowadays. You know, it's not hidden anymore. With Iran, the lies kind of, we don't know what it is now. At first, it was, oh, we need to stop their nuclear weapons program. And what ended up happening was, when was this actually? I need to try and remember. Okay, I've had to do this research. I was going to do all of this on a live stream, but here, the 2025, the 12-day war, where I think it was Israel, they bombed, they did a surprise attack. Let me read through this, hold on. It started when Israel bombed military and nuclear facilities in Iran in a surprise attack, assassinating prominent military leaders, nuclear scientists, and politicians, killing civilians and damaging or destroying air defenses. Iran retaliated with over 550 ballistic missiles and over 1,000 suicide drones, hitting civilian population centers, one hospital, at least 12 military government sites, etc. Now, this is where the message, the reason for invading or trying to start war with Iran started, because they thought that they pushed back their nuclear weapons program. But what they didn't realize is that Iran had the capabilities to hit them, because I'm sure you guys have heard of Israel's Iron Dome. Hold on a second. Let me just find that for you. The Iron Dome. The Iron Dome is an Israeli mobile all-weather air defense system developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems and Israeli Aerospace Industries. The system is designed to intercept and destroy short-range rockets, etc. Well, obviously, listen, Israel, their strikes, they did some damage in Iran, but in Israel. But what they didn't expect in the retaliation, they didn't expect Iran to be able to retaliate like that, because Iran retaliated. They penetrated the previously said impenetrable Iron Dome, and Israel, they've got a lot of American intelligence, they've got MI6 intelligence, you know, they've got all sorts of intelligence, and they were still able to penetrate that dome. So now Israel, their main target now is like, yo, we need to fuck up this ballistic missiles program, because God knows what, this is with short notice. You don't know what Iran is capable of. So the 12-day war happens. They end up negotiating a ceasefire. Apparently the ceasefire is broken. You know how these things go. And then you guys remember at the start of the year, my man Majaro, big up my Venezuelan brothers, very close to Grenada. Mauro was obviously kidnapped by America in a mad operation, crazy. They just kidnapped a world leader. Definitely somebody in his team, people in his camp sold him out. But they ended up kidnapping my man, and Trump is obviously gassed from that. You know, Trump's obviously gassed from that. And we've had the release of the Epstein files. If we go on the website here, you can find all of these things. A lot of the files have been redacted. We made a few videos talking about the Epstein files, but you just have to literally go on here, confirm that you're over the age of 18, and you can find a lot of things. There's a lot of British people that have been arrested. We've had Prince Andrew arrested. We have Peter Thiel, that guy who was very close with Epstein even after he was convicted of sex trafficking children, and they're being investigated for giving government secrets to Epstein. And Epstein was obviously an agent for XYZ, but we know that. Now, in this modern day and age of warfare, it's about your intelligence. You know, intelligence is everything, you know, especially with internet, things like that. And on the 28th of December, 2025, that is when protests began in Iran. That's when you started hearing on the news, oh my God, Iran's revolting. Iran's had enough. You know, Iran, they're protesting against the government, etc. They subsequently spread and became among the largest in recent years. Because what essentially, this is a theory on what has happened here, is America and other places, they've tried to crush Iran's economy. They attempted to crush Iran's economy to make people angry. You know, people ain't got money, people can't afford, shops can't afford to be open. They bred these conditions over a long time. This is what CIA assets, MI6 assets, that's what they've had to do over there. They've done this, they've made these conditions there. This is all alleged, what I reckon. I don't know, I'm just a civilian. I'm like, please don't kill me. Okay, I'm just saying what I need to say here. They started these protests, and the protests started off naturally. Apparently they started off like, okay, just people protesting because they're annoyed that they've had to close their shop, etc. But the CIA, MI6, Mossad assets would go there and, you know, make things a lot worse. You know, you'd see CIA agents at Black Lives Matter protests, you know, purposely burning down buildings and things like that. The people who go the extra mile and are the most violent, they're almost always intelligence assets there to stir up trouble. And they've done this. This was definitely backed by the West. They're definitely 100% an intelligence job. They did this because they want to start a regime change in Iran. And in order for them to get a regime change, they need enough people to be against the current regime so they can put in whoever else they want to put in. But right now, they're screaming for regime change, but it's quite scary because it's like, who's going to take over Iran, bro? Who are you going to put in to take over it? Now, obviously, Iran shut down the net because they're having all this, like, Iran's naturally going to shut down the internet. I'm not saying this government's innocent. I'm not fighting any side here, okay? Just let's make that very, very clear. I'm just giving what I believe are the facts here, my opinion on all this stuff that's happening, okay? All this stuff that's happening. I've been holding back on speaking about. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below, bro. It's politics. None of us really know what's going on, right? We can all just sit here and speculate. But Starlink was made free. You guys know what Starlink is. It's pretty much that stuff that lets you use internet anywhere because it's satellites in the sky. There was a Dutch diplomat that was caught sneaking in Starlink equipment. There's this Indian guy reporting on it. Kill switch, all that. Iran escalates the threat against protesters. And here, they're saying a mosque burns down during a Tehran protest. Yeah. Dutch diplomat suitcase seized in Iran at Iran's Imam Khomeini International Airport after refusing X-ray scam. Now, Starlink's obviously banned in Iran, obviously because it's Western technology. Same way Huawei technology has been banned in the West, mostly. What we have here is Putin's kill switch. Russian tech shuts down Starlink in Iran. Now, this says a lot here. What does this mean? What does this mean? This means that Russia, China, the other side, they've got the power to shut down Starlink. You know, before you'd think Starlink, it's in the space, you know, it can run, you can get people internet access, you can bypass if they shut it down. No. They've got the technology to shut Starlink down. Now, guys, this section over here is called the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz. For obvious reasons, you know, Qatar. Oof. It's going to be devastating. Dubai, Qatar, UAE. It's going to be very difficult for them to get their oil out of there if Iran shuts it down. And Iran has actually announced that rising US-Israel-Iran tensions put the Strait of Hormuz in focus, a vital energy choke point whose disruption could trigger global oil and gas shocks. Yes, if this strait is disrupted, bro, the price of petrol is going to skyrocket, all right? Especially because us in the West, we're not dealing with Russia. We're not buying Russian oil. It's dark, you know, it's dark. This is one thing about war. It's going to affect everyone in a certain way. But keep in mind, after Trump has just kidnapped my man at the start of the year and they're doing these protests, they're trying to ample things up in Iran. Iran shut down the net. Starlink has got jammed by Russia. It doesn't really make sense to start striking Iran and go to war with Iran because your revolution's failed. You know, China and Russian technology has been used to shut down Starlink, which is meant to be like one of the most valuable companies in America, like meant to be super technology. They're able to jam it. They're able to shut it down now. But yeah, this morning, Israel and America decided to still strike Iran, and Iran obviously retaliated with the quickness. But the thing is here is China is a lot more invested in this war. They're never going to directly be involved in it, which is why it says a lot, the fact that the US is claiming involvement with these strikes, because superpowers, they fight through proxies, bro. They don't really want to get their hands dirty and be directly involved in these wars, but obviously they don't really care about international law. But China, what China's getting out of this is China is obviously they need cheap oil. Iran sells cheap oil to China. Venezuela is now under US control, and China gets to sell their weapons to Iran, and they get to have their weapons, their new technology tested against American and Israeli technology without actually having to be at war with them. So China, it's looking very good for China right now. But yeah, that is what I think is going on here, guys. That is my opinion, my geopolitical opinion on what I think is going on here, because I think they really Israel just wants, they want complete control over this region. Even Afghanistan's been destabilized for how long? Even Pakistan is a nuclear power as well. Maybe what are they going to want? Pakistan's weapons gone? Are they going to want that if Pakistan starts to become a threat to Israel? We don't know. We don't know, guys. They either want you cucked out like the UAE, and Saudi Arabia, these places here where you just play ball, or they want you to be destabilized to the point where you couldn't do anything to them if they tried. The thing is, morale is at an all-time low, if the Western world are forced to go to a war. I mean, people are waking up, people are kind of aware here. It's like now they haven't even really bothered with even trying to spin a lie, or anything like that. It's just like, oh, we're going to war. That's what's going to happen. This is what's going on. America and that striked here. We're going to see what the Prime Minister had to say, actually. I haven't actually watched this, so we'll take a look at this now. There's Keir Starmer. Bro, this looks like a fake background. This don't look real. And you know what's even more crazy? The video of Trump speaking. The video of Trump giving his briefing. I'm going to find that quickly. Here. It's insane. What is crazy? It's like, bro, he's giving a speech in a location, an undisclosed location. It looks like, it looks like it's a location where you're not supposed to know where he is, like he's in a bunker or something. This is scary fucking times, what are you preparing for? What do you think could happen? The fact that you're hiding out in a bunker. And apparently Netanyahu is hiding out in Greece. But I want to see what Keir Starmer says. I don't know how you're going to spin this one, because if you say we're going to war, bro, I don't know. You're going to have to just have the dumbest of the dumb idiots, I mean, you can see Trump, he's building up ICE, he's building up ICE, like kind of an army, a little bit ICE, his own private army, and you have to be an idiot to join that. You have to be an idiot. I mean, don't get twisted. If a country is trying to invade this land, I will fight for this land, you know what I mean? But I ain't fighting for Israel, bro. It's not happening. Like, it's not happening. Like, your son's not fighting, bro. Like, Netanyahu's kids ain't fighting. Trump's kids ain't fighting. Why am I fighting, bro?
Earlier this morning, the United States and Israel struck targets in Iran. Iran has since launched indiscriminate strikes across the region. I know the British people and communities across our country.
You rubbed out there. Communities.
Will be deeply concerned.
Is this AI?
Communities across our
Hold on.
I know the British people and communities across our country will be deeply concerned about what this means for security and stability, and for the fate of innocent people across the region, which for so many of us includes friends and family members. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out our response.
What's our response?
The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes.
Okay.
But we have long been clear. The regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent, and sought to destabilize the region. Even in the United Kingdom, the Iranian regime poses a direct threat to dissidents and to the Jewish community. Over the last year alone...
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I saw some documentary or something that said that in Iran, like, there's a whole seat, like there's a whole member of parliament or something for a Jewish person, because there's there's a Jewish community in Iran. It's not about Jewish people, because Israel, it's not about the religion Jewish. It's about your ethnicity. That's what it is. That's what Israel is. It's mainly about your ethnicity, Alone,
they have backed more than 20 potential...
Like, do you think Netanyahu practices Sabbath, bro? Like, no, he probably doesn't. You think he's offered? No, he's not.
Lethal attacks on UK soil. So it is clear they must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. That remains the primary aim of the United Kingdom and our allies, including the US. I condemn Iran's attacks today on partners across the region, many of which are not parties to this conflict. We extend our support and solidarity to them as part of our commitments to the security of our allies in the Middle East. We have a range of defensive capabilities in the region, which we've recently strengthened. Our forces are active, and British planes are in the sky today as part of coordinated regional defensive operations.
Why aren't British planes, why isn't that capital, those resources being used to make people's lives here better? How does what's going on there affect me or you? Do you give a shit? You watching, do you care about that? I've always just cared about making each and every one of our lives better, but I don't care. I'll pay more tax if it meant that one of you guys watching's lives improved, you know? Bin collection once a week instead of every 2 weeks, you know? But right now, nothing is going towards us. We're in debt. Everything's paying off interest. Nothing is making the country better.
To protect our people,
Nothing is making your life
our
better.
interests, and our allies, as Britain has done before, in line with international law.
Okay.
We've stepped up protections for British bases and personnel to their highest level. We are also reaching out to UK nationals in the region and doing everything we can to support them. I've been speaking with leaders today from the E3 and across the region.
Britain, France, Germany.
It is vital that we prevent further escalation and return to a diplomatic process. We want to see peace and security and the protection of civilian life. Iran can end this now.
How?
They should refrain from further strikes.
They were striked first, big man. They got striked first. Like, what are you saying, bro? Like, at least it's like, be fair, be real. It's like you're setting them up to fail.
But their weapons programs.
Why would they do that after you've just striked them, bro?
Cease the appalling violence and repression against the Iranian people, who deserve the right to determine their own future in line with our long-standing position.
We're not even allowed to determine our future, bro. If every single person in this country got to vote on what to do, they would say, bro, we don't care. Don't give another penny to this stupid conflict. Land the planes, bro. Save the gas. Save the petrol. Give that to Susie, who needs petrol to take her kids to school, bro, instead of that. Come on, man.
This is the route to de-escalation and back to the negotiating table.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we've got all that here. Now, you guys know the man Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson, you know, I had him on my podcast. I interviewed him like 5 years ago, all right? Tommy Robinson was recently, I mean, he's been condemned. He's been invited over there by the Trump administration, and Tommy Robinson did a visit to Israel in October. Here it says, in October 2025, British far-right activist Tommy Robinson, Stephen Yaxi Lennon, visited Israel following an official invitation from Amichai Chikil, Israel's Minister for Diaspora Affairs. For Diaspora Affairs. Okay, then. The Israel state subsidized trip involved meeting with government leaders and visits to the West Bank, sparking condemnation from UK Jewish groups due to his background. And to be fair, around the time there was, just beforehand, there was an attack, a synagogue attack that took place in Manchester. They were reporting a lot about that. And to whoever idiots that was attacking the synagogue, bro, don't associate synagogues and Israel. Don't do that, bro, because Israel ain't nothing to do with that, bro. Israel is Zionism, bro. It's a whole different thing. But Tommy Robinson, okay, he was this is a guy who came on my podcast and told me he snuck into America illegally. Like, he's openly admitted to sneaking into America illegally. He's got criminal records. He's been convicted of multiple things. Were they warranted? Some of them warranted. I don't really think so. But the guy's somebody who's not getting into America, bro, let alone on the ESTA program. And now you can see him being hosted by Trump's administration in America, which makes absolutely no sense because America did not want to let him in there not long ago. Now, this, obviously, you guys know Tommy Robinson was a member of the EDL, the English Defense League. And this is a guy called Nick Griffin who was running the BNP party, the British National Party. Do I agree with any of this guy's views? No, I absolutely don't. But the fact he was saying this was from 2012. So we're talking 14 years ago. Listen to what he says about the EDL and look at some of the things that we've seen come out about Tommy Robinson recently, you know, that lead to him being an Israeli agent, you know what I mean? A spy, you know what I mean? A spy, you know, just to put it lightly, a spy, bro. To just be real with it, a spy, okay? A spy. Why do I say that? And I know a lot of people are going to give me backlash for it. I've said a lot of things in this video that a lot of people aren't going to agree with. I hope you've stayed till the end and have let me land. I don't care though. Like, I need to actually just say what I feel because I've met this guy, bro. I've met him. And initially, it seemed, because you need to remember, at first, you know, we was fine. You know, things were good. Like, racism was kind of disappearing. Like, things were good, bro. Like, life was good. Life was okay, bro. You know what I mean? But the opposition was controlled. And what we have, I'm in the UK, I can speak for the UK, and what we had was the far right movement, you know, the Nigel Farage, take our country back, immigrants are doing this, that whole movement that we are in now, how the political landscape has flipped, that is what we're on now. They're trying to get, because you need to understand, elections don't mean nothing. We're all being controlled, we're all being told what to think. Nigel Farage, they want Nigel Farage in power now. They want to get rid of the Equality Act. They want, Nigel Farage is somebody who believes in having a private version of the NHS, and again, and they're leading with this idea that the immigrants are doing bad. This is terrible. You know what I mean? They're leading with that when you should be looking up and see that the rich are getting richer, and they want to sell immigration as the snake oil cure, when in reality, they want you to get them in, and then Equality Act gone. They want to say that it's too woke. You know, it's too woke. When, you know, it's too woke when, you know, if you break your arm or if you have a disability, you can be discriminated against because of that, if that act is gone, you know what I mean? And privating the NHS. Oh yeah, we must privatize the NHS because the immigrants are overrunning it and taking too much money. Next thing you know, you got to have private health insurance, bro. I was in the hospital not long ago. There were signs up saying if you have private health insurance, you can figure out ways to use it. The NHS is already contracting to a lot of private companies to do work for them. They get Nigel in, they can push it over the rug. They can push it over. They can make it happen. Now, the whole movement at first, when I sat down and spoke with him, it's like, okay, I don't agree with anything you say about Islam and things like that, bro, because you are trying to portray the idea that Muslims want to fiddle with little girls. That's never going to make sense to me, okay? A lot of my brethren are Muslim. Like, you're never going to make me hear that. But the other things you'd say about the war in Ukraine, this stuff like that, other things that weren't to do with religion and stuff, we agreed with. You know what I mean? That we agreed with them certain things. But as time's gone on now, it's like, okay, it's like you just want to keep making us hate Muslims, because obviously I'm a black man. He was talking to me, kind of trying to make me and my friend Jace, it's like he's trying to make us hate Muslims. It's like he's trying to be like, oh, come on, look, these guys, they be going to jail, converted in jail. They're going to go against all this stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know. It rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, but I thought, you know what, cool, we sat down with him, you know, we got that interview done, you know what I mean? This guy just hates Muslims, innit? He just hates Muslims. But now, as he's gained more popularity, as Elon Musk, the richest man on the planet, has decided to push him. And what I think about Elon Musk, okay, I don't think he's in the club, okay? He's richest man on the planet on paper, but really and truly, if you are the richest man on the planet, you are not gonna want to have the whole world know that you are the richest man on the planet. Are you? You're not. And we know the story with Elon. Obviously, his son turned into a transgender, and I think he genuinely believed in what he was pushing. You know, buying Twitter to push this stuff, saying no, we're anti-woke, things like that. I genuinely believe he thought he was gonna make a difference, but bro thought he was bigger than the program, bro. When in reality, nah, that's not the case. That's not who really is in control. And in return for buying Twitter and getting Trump in power, yeah, you get a bunch of government contracts, bro, but that's about it. You know, you can rant on Twitter, you can talk, but you're not the one with the cards here. You're not really the one with the power here. And I think that's Elon Musk. because Elon Musk funded Tommy Robinson's legal fees. You know, he's gone through legal troubles, etc. And people say, oh, but Tommy Robinson, he's gone to prison. He's gone to prison. Like, how can he be a spy when he's gone to prison, bro? Like this deep cover intelligence, bro. Like deep cover. Like, I'm fully convinced. Because as time's gone on now, it's gone from, you know, because he's, at first it seemed like, you know, okay, you think it looks like you're trying to fight for people's interests, you know what I mean, at least. But now he's just turned into, since his government visit to Israel, it's just like, he's just pro-Israel. It's like, wow, you've become like the face of the right, yeah? You've taken the right movement, the opposition movement, and now you're trying to flip it into, yeah, defend Israel. Like, hate Muslims a lot, hate Muslims, and defend Israel. And it's like, well, that's not in the British people's best interest. What would be in the British people's best interest would be doing things to make their lives better. Supporting a war in the Middle East does not make our lives better. In fact, it makes our lives worse. It's going to increase energy prices. It's going to increase oil prices. It's going to destabilize things. Trade routes are going to be messed up. It's going to do the opposite. And this interview here that I'm going to play you with this Nick Griffin guy, who's a dickhead as well. You know, I'm not going to say he's a dickhead, but just, you know, got that white supremacist type angle. You know what I mean? Like, people you'll never support because, you know, if they get in power, it's like, oh, by the way, these blacks are subhuman. You know, that type of shit. But listen to what he says about the EDL in 2012.
They're taking risks in doing so. They're repressed by the police, people who lost their jobs and so on. I've got time for them. But the leadership of the EDL and the thing as a whole, it is quite simply a Zionist front organisation, which is financed in the end from the United States. And its purpose is to heighten and encourage a clash of civilizations, because the neocons and the far right of the Zionist spectrum, the Likud Kahanists, they want Europeans and Muslims fighting on the streets of Europe, so that when they then, as they want to ethnically cleanse Palestine of all the Palestinians, a lot of public opinion thinks, well, I wish we could do that in Britain, wish we could do it in France or Denmark, and that's what the EDL is there for. It's a false flag front group run by and financed by Zionists.
Well, I mean, that's a big claim.
It's a big claim. Does he sound crazy? Do you think does that not sound like what's going on right now? Does it not sound like he was bang on the money back then? Let me know in the comments below, guys. It's been a long video. We've been here for nearly an hour.
Big claim, but if your viewers just give us a couple of weeks, and I'm at present partway through a document, the key parts relating to Britain are 20,000 words already. All of it factually backed up. It's a crystal clear pattern. You can look in Haaretz, the fairly left-wing Israeli paper, and they talk about it. There's pointers there as well. But I've pulled this together. It's a very clear picture. It's a big claim, but it's true.
Could you see yourself working with the EDO anytime in the future, together as partners?
Yeah. And you need to remember, guys, just for clarity here, like, do not hate all people. Do not hate all Israelis. Like, bro, it's not that. It's like the average Israeli is not in control. I mean, the average American is not in charge of these strikes, bro. It's the people in power at the top. That's what it is. But just know that everything happening right now, everything you can see happening, okay? And keep in mind, EDL, the organization he's talking about, that is where Tommy Robinson started off, bro. You know what I mean? It's insane, guys. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. I think I've covered everything I need to cover. Let's see if there's any updates. Let's Google Iran and see if there's anything happening there right now. Hopefully this video stays okay because yeah, we just talk a little bit loose. Let's see. What does Netanyahu say? Netanyahu says growing signs Iran's supreme leader is gone after US Israel. Oh wow. Israel Prime Minister says there are growing signs that the supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is gone after the strikes. Satellite images earlier showed damage to his compound in Tehran. Unconfirmed reports in Israel, and the US say he was killed. The US and Israel have launched attacks, so they're saying they might have got Iran's supreme leader. Oh my God.
Yemen have launched missiles at us in the past, and we have retaliated fiercely, and we will do it again if necessary. Thank you very much, and have a good week.
That's crazy. They give the report in Hebrew, not even English.
So an Israeli defense spokesman there speaking live, making it clear that this conflict is going to go on as long as it needs to.
Oh, God.
Some suggestions from the Israelis that the supreme leader has been killed in that initial airstrike this morning.
Whoa.
Still no confirmation of that, but that's certainly been the indication from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And as I speak to you now, the skies above Tel Aviv here are quiet. In fact, it's been the longest period of quiet we've had all day.
Get out of there, you silly man. But, fam, this is just to end the video here, guys. This is right now. If Israel have managed to, if they've really managed to kill the leader, the Ayatollah guy of Iran, and they've got this destabilization going, they might actually be successful. Their plan's going to be successful. It's going to be successful. If they've killed the leader and they're not saying he's alive or not, they're not going to do that, because keep in mind, the fact that Trump gave that press conference in an undisclosed location, the fact that Netanyahu's in Greece, that Ayatollah, like, when war's going on, bro, these world leaders, you ain't gonna know, you ain't meant to know where they are, bro. They're giving the commands from their secret bases and stuff. War's not fun for them either, bro. It's not fun for them either, but it's insane. If they've killed my man, that means, boy, because they wouldn't start these strikes unless they've got crazy levels of intelligence. So it's insane. Chung Lee, what do you think? Chung Lee says China is just sitting back and winning. We are untouchable. China is the future. I'm taking a trip to Chongqing soon. I'm Chung Lee. Leave the like if you enjoy my people. Subscribe if you haven't already. And comment down below your opinions on this topic. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love to every single one of you guys watching. Thank you.